This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation standing by. Alyssa, how you doing today? It's a little bit of a different Tuesday than I guess I was prepared for.
Yeah, well, happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates. One of my favorites. And so I am all decked out in my Halloween attire. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Not really. It's a little bit more of a trick than a treat on this Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much. The rumors about Jersey Wolfenbarger transferring, I started hearing some of those yesterday, and now it comes out today that it is apparently true. Pig Trail Nation has broken the story. How'd you guys find out?
So all the credit to Courtney Mims, as you guys are probably aware, or maybe not, has great connections in the basketball world. Her dad is the head coach at D2 school, Florida Tech in Florida, has been in the coaching world for a long, long time, and so she knows a lot of people in the industry. Had a coach reach out to her yesterday asking about Jersey Wolfenbarger in the portal, and that's when she kind of got the ball rolling on trying to figure out some of the storylines and what was actually happening. Got in touch with our Kevin McPherson, who has built a relationship with the Wolfenbargers, and between the two of them, we're able to confirm that, yes, she is no longer with the team. She intends to transfer, and that her name is in the portal. Now, I know there's a lot of confusion about the portal and kind of what that means. There is a portal window where players can be recruited, actively go to a new team, and then there are times where they can't. The portal never goes away. It doesn't disappear. It is always there. So if you are a coach right now and you were to open it up, you would see her name. But she can't be actively recruited. She can't actively go to a new school. It's closed, but it's always there. And I think that's kind of where a little bit of the confusion is of like a portal. The portal's not open. Well, it's not open, but you can always put your name in it. And when it does open, then people can start actively recruiting you. And that is where we are right now.
Alyssa, is it amicable or was it cantankerous? Did they leave on good terms, so to speak?
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn a little bit more about that. I haven't talked to Kevin directly. Courtney has, because I know that he was able to talk with some of Jersey Wolfenbarger's family members about what was going on today. They had a meeting with compliance today to officially make it a done deal, I guess, or finalize a few things. But, you would hope so. I know that I don't see Jersey being someone who would do this maliciously or try to throw anyone under the bus. So you would hope that it was just a mutual understanding between where she was and where she is in her game and in her life and what she wants to do and where this team is and with Mike Neightbors and this staff. So, I mean, she has always been complimentary on how they recruited her, invested in her, grew her game, helped her as much as they could, put together really a 10-year plan for her in the game of basketball. And so you would hope that it got to a point where there was just an understanding of, separating on friendly terms.
Interesting. Well, it's just that there's the story on men's and women's basketball is different going into the season.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of the expectations or anything, because I think Mike's team's going to do well this year. They're just not quite, in most people's eyes at the same level as LSU, Carolina, Tennessee. I think that they can make their way up into that top four though if the right things happen. On the other side, on the Muss side, on the men's side, it's like the win over Purdue. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going to happen once the season starts, but it does make you think the hype is real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right on the women's team, Phil. I think that this is a team that's really talented, without Jersey. And that's not a negative to her. I'm just saying there's a lot of talent on this team without her on it, and they can still have some success and play really well. We just haven't seen them play in an exhibition game, and we haven't seen them really do anything. And so they're kind of still a question mark for all of us. As for the men, what they did against Purdue, and you're right, not necessarily indicative of what's going to happen this year, but there is so much potential. It's the maturity level of this team. It's the unselfishness of this team that you're already seeing. It's the way they're already playing defense, which you hope will stick. It's October. You hope it sticks in March. That's really the basis for this team's success. And if they can keep that going, the chemistry, the unselfishness throughout the rest of the season, I mean, this could be a special team.
Can I ask you a men's basketball question and wanted to get your thoughts after the game against Purdue? A lot of hype, buying in, and what your thoughts are on that game. And did anybody stand out maybe that was kind of under the radar to you going into that game?
I don't know if anyone really, stood out. Just really, well, I take that back, actually. Impressed all the way around. I think El Ellis continues to be very impressive. Tremont Mark. But having Leighton Blocker, the freshman, come in there and play the way that he did, I think that surprised me, to answer your question, Matt. Like, watching him play, I was like, okay. Not that I didn't know he was talented, but he's a freshman, and he's out there playing against Purdue, and I was just really impressed with the way that he played. And so I think that jumped out to me the most. You've got Trevin Brazil, who's still coming along, but excited to see his game grow. And then, Devo Davis. And we know that during the regular season, when Muss puts together these, super rosters that he does, that Devo kind of plays a, secondary role until he's needed in the postseason or he's needed in big games. But that's who Devo is. And so, you're going to have a lot of shiny players who are jumping out on the stat sheet, but don't forget, Devo is still there, and he is going to make his mark eventually at some point when it matters the most for this Razorback team. His name is going to be at the top, and I'm excited to kind of see how that develops as well. But really, again, as I mentioned, just the maturity level of this team, and it comes with the experience that they've brought in, can be really, really, really fun to watch if they continue to click the way that they did.
Well, we'd like to see the Arkansas offense click a little bit going into the football, the last home stretch here of the football season. And, there's all these questions. What is the offense going to look like under Kenny Guyton? I don't know. I don't know if anybody really cares as long as there's some, as long as, hey, you get the ball on your first drive, you get yourself a few first downs, you get into the opponent's half of the field, you score a touchdown when you're inside the 20. I don't think anybody cares. If it looks different than it's looked now, I think people will be happy about it, but you got to win. You got to win. I don't know what it's going to look like. I expect something better just because I feel the players will have something to believe in a little bit more.
Yeah, score a touchdown, and it'll be better than the last game, honestly. You're absolutely right. And so I don't think any of us are going to be able to know. We haven't been able to be at practice at all this week, so we haven't been able to see anything. But as long as they are playing as a unit again, I think with no knock to Dan Enos, because I really do like Dan as a person. He treated us well while he was here his 2 times. It just felt like the energy was sucked out of that offense. And it sounds like Kenny Guyton has given them a little bit of a renewed confidence and energy. And you hope that is shown on the field where they're just playing with more fun. It got to a point where they didn't even look like they were having fun out there. And that's, if you're not even having fun, what are you doing? What are you doing even playing the game? So you hope that you see that spark, and that spark is going to lead to success. But that's what I'm looking at. I don't care. I mean, I care what kind of plays they're calling because you want them to call the right ones and be smart about the play calling. But I want to see the attitude, the body language. Are they having fun? Because I promise if they're having fun, if KJ feels like himself again, if we see Rocket Sanders out there again, having a good time, having success, that's going to lead to points, which can lead to wins, and who knows what's going to happen these last 4 weeks of the year.
Yeah, speaking of Rocket Sanders, do you think it's odd that he's coming back now, or do you think it's just kind of his natural progression? And what do you expect from him against Florida?
You know what? It might be a part of his natural progression, but honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think that it's also a business decision too. And maybe he felt like the way that things were going under Dan Enos, and this is my perspective, my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Is maybe he felt like I can't find success here and I'm not going to risk my health on what's happening right now. And maybe he's got a different feeling. There's a different vibe around the locker room, whatever it may be, that he feels like if this is the year, can these last 4 games up my draft stock enough or put myself in a really good position to have success, whatever it may be, he might just feel a little bit better with the offense right now to put his hat back in, on top of the fact that he might be feeling a little bit better. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of a business decision along with health-wise, he might be feeling a little bit better in terms of where his knee is.
And 100%, I think that Raheem Sanders can play on Sundays. It will be about his health because he is super talented. So I'm with you. I hope he is healthy, and I hope he shows out and he does his thing, and he will get if he's healthy, he's going to get drafted.
Yeah. And I also think, too, if you think about it, he's never played a game in his home state. And you're about to play in your home state, that's a little bit of motivation, some motivation to play in front of friends and family who maybe haven't been able to come to any of your other games because you're just a couple hours up the road. I mean, there's a lot of motivation going into this weekend for him, just from a personal standpoint. I mean, there's a possibility his son might be able to come up here and see him play in Gainesville. So there's a lot of personal reasons, too, for Rocket Sanders to want to try to get ready for this game.
Hey, before we let you go, doesn't the SEC soccer tournament starts tonight? Won the regular season. Let's go for this tournament. Let's get to the Final Four because that's kind of the one thing that the program has lacked right now.
It is. They've never won. They always are like, never a bride, always a bridesmaid kind of thing with the NCAA, with the SEC tournament. They always finish second. But Colby Hill has talked about this roster, and his rosters are never necessarily built for a, 6 games in a row kind of tournament. But you would love to see them win it, finally, just to get that monkey off their back. This is a Final Four team. If they can keep these pieces together, and they're exciting to watch. They just play with that fire, and they get that from their head coach, and they're aggressive, and they're loud, and, they're just a lot of fun and kind of scary, to be honest. But you need that to win soccer games. So I wish them the best in Pensacola, but I know that if they don't win the SEC tournament, they've got their sights set on, like you said, going to Cary, North Carolina here in a couple of weeks.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.